How's it hanging, everybody? Nelly Charlie here, and today I wanted to show a simple and effective build for Void Warlocks in Armor 2.0. Now, there's plenty of videos out there, plenty of people showing off builds with the new armor, the new mod system, and I'm sure there will be plenty more. We just haven't discovered yet. Now, this build is kind of going back to some older setups, a lot of synergy that you'll see that we've had before. And kind of want to start off with a disclaimer. A lot of this is going to rely on you having some things unlocked. Not too intensely in that aspect, but if you're a new light player, there are some things you may have to get before you can do this. I'm sure, especially with Iron Banner here, that'll help a bit. And you'll need your relic pretty much fully unlocked, especially for the bonus part that I'll mention in here. So just keep that in mind going forward. But first off, just to take a look here, we're going to start off with our Void Warlock. We're going to go with Top Tree. This whole build is set up off synergy, and basically we're going to want one thing that you use to regenerate your other abilities and back and forth, so on and so forth. So with your Top Tree, Nova Bomb or Slova Bomb, we have Entropic Pull here. Strike an enemy with the melee to drain your enemy's life force and use it to recharge a grenade. Now I want to specify that it's to just strike the enemy, hit the enemy with the ability. You don't actually have to kill them to get that effect. So as long as you hit them, even if it's a boss or a major, as long as you hit them with that melee ability, you're going to get your grenade energy back, and it's actually pretty generous. I don't know the exact amount, but honestly, you're looking at it roughly. When I just throw my grenade and hit with a melee, I'm getting roughly 50% back just from hitting with this. No other aspects involved, just this ability from Top Tree. So that's the main aspect we're going to start with. This works really well to keep the synergy going. Now, since we were on that part, let's go jump right to the relic before we get into the rest of all this. So with our relic aspect, the main things we want to have unlocked here is your anti-barrier rounds, whether it be for auto rifle submachine guns or with the hand cannon, whichever you prefer. We're going to need these two mods. We're also going to need in the fourth row Ballistic Combo, grants melee energy with final blows from shield piercing, which is these two mods here equipped on your weapon, and grants grenade energy on final blows with shield piercing, which is relevant to these two mods. Now our bonus aspect that I say if we have it fully unlocked is Oppressive Darkness. Basically that turns your void grenades into tractor cannon, so I highly recommend like a dot grenade, a damage over time, like your vortex grenades or anything of that sort. So that way you could toss a grenade at an enemy, a boss, whatever, and get that instant. I believe it's a 30% damage buff. It's pretty nice, and it works for your entire fire team, not just you. So if you throw it at a boss, you're in Gambit Prime or anything, you're getting that buff without actually having to use your exotic slot for tractor cannon or anything of that sort. Pretty sweet setup, and I highly recommend this. Alright, so let's take a look. Now for us, what I have here is the Recluse. Obviously a lot of people have this, a lot of new light players may not. Understandably you have to earn this, but with that barrier, anti-barrier round, it could go on submachine guns or auto rifles. Now I have it on Recluse. Void is the aspect we're going to aim for here because of our Nez Sin. We'll get to that in a second. You're going to want a void weapon, whether it be a submachine gun, an auto rifle, or hand cannon. I put some here just to show there are other weapons besides Recluse. Seriously, people, there's lots of really good weapons out there besides Recluse. I know Recluse is amazing. Obviously, I have 13,000 kills with this one, and this is just on this character alone. We also have Hero's Burden, really good SMG, 900 RPM, just came out with Iron Banner. And if you did the quest for Iron Banner, you get one guaranteed on one of the quest steps. This is one of the rolls I actually got from Lion Under Pressure kill clip, not half bad. If you wanted to look at hand cannons, the Optative from the Vex Offensive that just came out is phenomenal. I was a huge West of Sunfall 7 fan, and the fact they brought this back is amazing, and I got this pretty badass roll myself, Rapid Hit Kill Clip, but it's void. I'm not using hand cannons, I'm using submachine guns, but you could put the anti-barrier hand cannon mod on this. Age-Old Bond, auto rifle from Last Wish, pretty good setup as well. Another hand cannon, Kindled Orchid. This is from the Forge, Black Armory Forges. This one has Kill Clip Rampage. Pretty solid setup. Every Waking Moment, that's from Eris Morn on the Moon, the Essence Quest, Void Submachine Gun Good. But Gnawing Hunger here, this is one I thought of right before I actually started. This is a Void Auto Rifle from Amber Prime or Reckoning. This auto rifle can actually roll with Demolitionists, which is just going to be absolutely insane with this build. Unfortunately, I do not have one with Demolitionists, so I couldn't show that off at all. Like, I was kind of hoping I had one in my vault, but definitely something to go out and give it a shot, because I'm sure it's just going to make this whole aspect even nuttier than it already is. I have Swarm of the Raven on here. I don't need this. I have other weapons I could run, but since it's Void, I'm going with Nez Sin. Void kills grant ability energy. So we want every aspect we can get. So since we've been talking about it, we're going to dive right into Nez Sin. This is an exotic you need that really helps this build. It is from year 1. This is a vanilla Destiny 2 exotic. If you're a New Light player and don't have it yet, I'm sure you'll come across it. Xur sells a lot of these pretty often. This one I just pulled from collections. Added a discipline mod to decrease our grenade charge time. But the main thing we want to get at is void damage kills, increase ability energy recharge rate. Now, it's void damage kills, not specific to anything, it's just void kills in general. So whether it's from your weapon, your grenades, your melee, doesn't matter. It all recharges the rest of your abilities faster. That's our main aspect. Going forward, most of my armor here is from Iron Banner, or I pulled it, so it's got decent, stat range there. Our gauntlets, they don't have much. We just have some mods here to help out my actual weapons, so enhanced grenade launcher loader, enhanced submachine gun loader, not needed. Again, this is just for my character that I have here. But the chest piece is what we want to focus on. Now, this one I have is with those 2 relic mods I pointed out earlier. So Breach Refractor grants grenade energy on final blows with shield piercing weapons, which is going back towards your submachine gun, auto rifle, or hand cannon that you picked with those mods respectively on them. And at the same time, Ballistic Combo grants melee energy on final blows with shield piercing weapons, also going back to submachine gun, auto rifle, hand cannon respectively that you choose with those mods. So kills with those weapons are getting you grenade energy and melee energy as long as you have the shield piercing mod equipped. And with Nez Sin, being that it's a void weapon, like the suggestions I showed here, are getting even more energy based on all of your abilities back. So you're already starting to see how that's going. Legs, I just put, another one respectively towards this weapon loadout I have with Grenade Scavenger. And Discipline mod to reduce that grenade even further. In your class mod here, we have the Oppressive Darkness, which was the little bonus mod I highly suggest. Causing damage with Void Grenade adds a weaken effect to enemies, basically adding a tractor cannon for the duration of the grenade. So damage over time grenades, stock grenades like the Vortex are highly recommended here, because the longer your grenade's damaging them, the more you're going to get that bonus damage for you and your fire team. So one of the other things besides Nez Sin for New Light players is enhanced ashes to assets. Now, I got this recently in Armor 2.0 drop. Gain even more super energy on grenade kills. So since we're going to be throwing grenades so much with our Slova Bomb melee perk and the Nez Sin and everything else we have synergizing to give grenade energy and melee energy to kind of replenish each other constantly back and forth, our grenade kills that we get from throwing them all the time are going to give us super energy, and having the enhanced gives us even more super energy on top of that. Now, if you don't have enhanced, they do have the regular ashes to assets, which gives super energy back. Now, it's not as much, but it still obviously helps, especially with this loadout and the synergy setup that we have here. You're going to be getting grenades, it feels like every 5 to 10 seconds in combat, and without combat, I mean, our cooldown here, natural, standard, without anything procced, is 59 seconds, so just under a minute, 1 minute. Now I could put more discipline mods on there and drop that more naturally, but once you start a combat encounter and you start getting kills with your void weapon, or you do that melee, you're getting so much energy. It's not even a huge deal to have a lower discipline in that aspect, because once you're in combat, it's going to go up automatically. And the great thing with this build is you don't really have to think about it. You're just running in there with your void weapon, mopping ads, and just remember, hey, I have a grenade. Toss it, kill some more ads, melee dude, you're back up in 3 enemies in a melee, easily. And this whole thing, this whole loadout just synergizes with each other. It's a very simple build, very mindless in the aspect where you just play the game. use your abilities. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to hold on. You know, be like, oh, I don't want to use my grenade. I think there's a major coming up or something. Just use it, because you're gonna mop a couple ads and you're gonna have it right back, or you're gonna melee that dude and you're gonna get half of it back and drop a couple. It's super rewarding. The synergy here is mind-blowing with this aspect. Now you were able to build something like this very similar, an armor, you know, the old armor 1.0, if you want to call it that, with Nez Sin and a void weapon. It worked great. But these two relic mods here, adding even more grenade and melee energy on this anti-barrier mod is just making a huge difference in that aspect. So this is something that's very simple. You don't really have to do too much time to get to this point to have this type of setup, and it's just really great all around. You have a weakening DPS with oppressive darkness without having to worry about running a tractor cannon or anything of that sort. Constant grenade energy, constant melee energy. You're getting your super all the time. Like pretty much every major encounter in a strike, I could use a super and I'm gonna have it back by the next encounter in that strike. It's wonderful to see something like this again, especially after the nerf Bungie gave to everything. Our super energy dropped a bit, so it's really nice to throw a Nova Bomb and not worry about going into the next encounter and not having it when a bunch of mages or those champions spawn up that are annoying. This is definitely something to play around with. I hope this loadout helps a few people, or at least explore around, tinker with it. I'm sure this could be optimized a bit better. I'm sure there's tons of other things out there that will put this out, but this is a nice little bit to start off with in Armor 2.0, and I really hope some people find some other good things out there. And I'll be keeping an eye out myself, and I'll be experimenting more. I have a couple other ideas for the Hunter and Titan, and I'll dabble around with those later, and we'll see if we could come up with something. But until next time, this is Gnarly Charlie. You guys have a good one.